Alright, I haven't done this in a while. What? It's already come up with people. I just pressed the button. Has it already announced it? About no activism like vigils. Wondering if he's eating egg and... Yeah, how's it going? Eden, alright. I watched the video and the last part sounds so... Apparently, it must have announced already that I'm doing this, but look. You know, if you know vegan YouTube, you know this t-shirt. Excuse the shit balaclava. I think my nan chucks my balaclava away. She didn't approve of my graffiti. So I'm going to be watching this. I'm going to be over here. JackoWacko Vegano. No longer vegan though. Haven't done one of these live streams or anything like this in a while. How do I get the chat up? How you doing? Sorry, I'm a bit of a noob at this. It's been so long they changed up the system and I'm using all new technology. Live chat. And there we go. He's an alcoholic. So I didn't really want to talk so much about JackoWacko Vegano, but like, let's get the video on first. Because he's a bro, man. He sent me this t-shirt. I haven't even bought this off him. Like, this isn't like a Najib t-shirt, which like, I didn't buy that either, to be fair. I got to give him one of them. Najib, right. Oh, where's it playing from? Headphones. I love your content. Yeah, I wish I made more of it. So let's just start somewhere in the middle.
Before I ate any
Can't! Nah, this is what he wants, right? It's like, I don't know if you've seen JackoWacko Vegano's channel. Some of you might not have seen it. I put him in the top 10 before. There's a few top 10 people who have stopped being vegan. He's another one of them. And I'm not disappointed because I don't have those expectations of people. I've seen people fail a lot, man. Like, being vegan apparently is not that easy. And do you know what it is? I want to get straight to the root of it. There's two things. There's the science side of it, where like there's gut issues, okay? But then there's the spiritual side of it, which is kind of like, what does each part of my body do to serve me while I'm being an avatar in this world? And like, a lot of it is connected to emotional shit, like a lot of back problems can be like, it can just be like, what, something just digging away at you, you know, and like you just start to give up standing straight and that becomes all of it. Or you might be in an environment that you don't enjoy, so you're just kind of like, oh, I have to be here, I'm leaning against the wall. And all these things over time become habits. And it's really easy to undo these habits. That's the beautiful thing. It doesn't take an equal amount of long time that you've done the habit to undo it. It undoes itself much more rapidly. So just little things like being just like much more open. You can see his body language in this video. Look. There he is. He ain't got his meatless crew shirt on anymore. Oh yeah, let's get the live chat up. Sorry, I'm not... Why doesn't it just automatically still there? Brain fog though. Brain fog though. Yeah, brain fog's become definitely like a word that I've not normally had to use. Hang on, these all just disappeared. Brain fog though. Are you kidding me? Yeah, Jacko turn, man. Sorry to be the one who told you, evil Paul. What have you been doing the actors in terms of this pastime? Man, I've been... It's been a lot. I've filmed a lot of it. I'll put it out eventually. Yeah, all sorts. I've been doing like environmentalist stuff. Not recently with like the Extinction Rebellion crew, but like other bits, and I've been working on like sometimes the solution to a fairly like weird problem that involves the human psyche involves creative things. So and they can take ages to get off the ground and make happen, but then instantly become cultural phenomenons. I just always think like it would have been great if Harry Potter had been vegan. Do you know what I mean? If it had that vegan message at the end, it's like, oh, and they set all the house elves free, and it always fucks with me like how much like that little difference, man. I should have made a better balaclava. Tuck myself in. But yeah, let's talk about it, man. I'm just a bit hyped because I haven't done a live stream in a while. But he talks about that as well, doesn't he? I'm kind of talking to you like you've already seen the video, like you all care about this as much as me.
Okay. I asked for the B12, for the vitamin D. I asked for everything. He didn't give me everything. I don't know how it works. I don't know if they're reluctant.
I don't know how it works.
To give you everything. I don't know if it costs to...
It's just these mantras, I don't know, like the voice he tells himself.
Everything, but I got some shit done, right? And I'm fine. I'm not deficient in fucking bollocks.
Let me summarise what's happened with JackoWacko Vegano. He's stopped being vegan. For anyone who can't be bothered to watch a 37-minute, 31-second video. And it takes a long time to get to the point because it's difficult, man, because we're dealing with human shame here, like that feeling, oh, shame. There's something eating away at everyone, man. Some people choose to deal with it and some don't. And there's chemical stuff. I'm not saying there's just that, but like I can see it in people's body language, man. I can see it. Yeah, didn't know he's an alcoholic. And I've hung out with people off of YouTube, and you expect to hang out with the person off of YouTube, and when they turn up, they're on YouTube, but you never get to meet the person. Do you know what I mean? There's someone else, or there's like some spoiled brat, or there's someone with mental health problems that they've never brought up on the internet, and it's weird. Yeah, we need to guide him back, and that's a really important part. I've seen some fucking horrible comments from vegans on his channel, just being like, you're a failed person, and it's like, mate, who needs that in that time of crisis? Like, he is having a dark moment. Like, this is a real, like, a dark night of the soul moment. And we need to be there for him, and we can only give him advice and stuff. And then, our job is to not get angry if he doesn't take the advice. And it's also, what's the word, like unsolicited advice. That's not our job either. But yeah, another one. What's going on? I'm starting to think they're putting something in the water or something, because like it's getting to the point where it's getting a bit weird. And I always like to think, like, what would evil do if it was running the show right now, which it seems to be doing with all the labs and all of it, when you get into it. And I just fuck with everyone's digestion with water or something. But like, even that would just influence a bunch of people who are influencing other people, so that on a bigger scale, like just look at what Sverige is doing. I met Sverige the other day, by the way. Yeah, if you're having a dark moment, YouTube is probably the last place to be. Yeah, exactly. And if you think about it, like with Tim Shieff, for him to say that he fucked up, and he fucked up months before he said it, by the way. He wasn't like, oh, I've got to be honest about this thing. Like, it's important for me because I'm an honest person. We're like, he'd been lying for fucking months and months. Like, when he got caught out. And he didn't do it because he wanted to be honest. He did it because someone called him out on Instagram, and it got out, and then he tried to pretend that he was the one who released it. Like, this is the level of deviousness we're dealing with here. These people are not honest. And honesty is up there with veganism, you know? Like, that's as important. I've fucked up before. I've lied to people before. And, like, I've had to, like, give myself a hard time to call myself out. And if you don't, you, like, dip your toe into psychopathy and you just keep going. Yes. Influencing the influencers is much more likely a tactic of the baddies. Yeah, and like the term astroturfers comes up, you know, like it's fake grassroots. But I think honestly, when I met the Sverige lot, I did not get the sense of like some conspiracy theory going off. I just thought, here's a guy who's lost his mind, and a bunch of people who are just really lost. Like, I've got a lot of footage of that. I will share it at some point. I still love Timmy. There's a good person there, isn't there? Like, I think he was vegan at some point, but I think he's always looked at this as like a career move at the same time. So, you know, I do think he's a bit of a cunt. One of the things I want to say is that with JackoWacko Vegano.
Okay. In fact, I'm overfishing, if that's a word.
Overfishing. He's overfishing in B12. What a problem to have. I just forget that some of these people on YouTube, they haven't like done their homework. And even though being vegan is instinctual, it's common sense, it is in our nature to not want to hurt these animals, and we've been tricked from birth, you know. I'm sad about his kid. His kid's not vegan anymore, and he says this bit where he goes, oh, I don't give a fuck about my kid being vegan. Tim lost his marbles a long time ago. Yeah, man. Something happened and he couldn't handle it. Something beat him. Tim lost against himself somewhere. Influencing it. Tim Shieff is bloated as fuck now. Yeah, the inflammation thing's real. Like, that's them eating up at them. Like, that's the cognitive dissonance in action, man. It would be easy to feed Tim Shieff bullshit about flat earth, etc. Very gullible. I've got a video of Tim Shieff talking about flat earth that someone sent me. Him chatting about flat earth to... Where were they? Mike the Vegan's there. Klaus is there. Nina and Randa, oh yeah, Jeff Nelson, it's Jeff Nelson's house, and there's just people like, it's all this big vegan scene like at their house, and Tim Shieff's just there at a party like trying to explain flat earth and telling everyone they're not ready for it yet, and Mike the Vegan's just there going, well, scientifically that doesn't make sense, and here's why, and I'm going to explain it, and Tim's just like, no, you're not ready for the truth, brother. It's like, that's those moments where you know they're crazy, the bits that they don't edit into their own videos. Where are we? Tim lost his marbles. Jacko actually recently mocked him, Shieff, for ditching veganism. Yeah, I've seen it. I've been watching the whole thing, man. Like, I keep up to date on all of this. It'd be so much easier for me if I just put my identity out, but I really don't want to. It fucks with people, man. It's fucked with him. What's he on, like? Oh shit, he lost about 400 subscribers. I always want to see what they do next, though. That's the thing with subs. But yeah, 6.8 subs, man. Make a man go crazy. Social media is like, I knew that from the start. That's why I covered up. I think vegan foot soldier is sensible to have. Yeah, to have that. And obviously it's not hard to find out who I am if you want to, but I just think that separation. And the fucked up thing is, if he goes to vegan camp out or something, everyone's like, oh, I love your channel, I love your channel. It's a reason for people to come up and just like suddenly feel super popular, and it'd be like the best feeling of his life. Like, oh, everyone knows me. Oh, wow, I'm like I'm the biggest fish in the pond. Maybe I should eat the smaller fish. I'm back on tuna. I mean, he doesn't say what he's eating in this video. Oh, if you're watching Jackson, just like, bro, think like your missus is still vegan. I've made this video for you, man. I was thinking about like just revealing my identity to be like, come back, bro. Let's see what the chat's doing. His son looked like an African child because he's a bad father who fed him shit. Jim, you're the guy I'm on about. You're the kind of you're up there with plant-based Harvey or whatever the fuck his name is. These people leave mean comments to XV. Like, what is your strategy? What is your effectiveness for veganism? How are you serving the movement with bullshit like that, man? Like, do you know what? If you want to be mean to people, like, here's how being mean feels. His son looked like an African child because he's a bad father who fed him shit. So first off, Jim Rogers is a fucking racist, an African child. You ever been to Africa, Jim? You ever left your own fucking county? You fucking non-passport owning piece of shit. I'm going to be mean to the vegans who are mean to the ex-vegans that push them further. Is that a good strategy? Nah, just love everyone. Just love everyone. We're not angry here. Vegan jihad. Put that on the news as a fucking out of context clip. Mad love for you, vegan revolution. PS, off subject, I think you're Banksy. Maybe, maybe not, but I like to think so. Nah, Banksy uses stencils. I'm not that lazy. And also he painted that elephant. That's not vegan, fam. That's not vegan, fam. And what else did he do? Oh yeah, he had someone like ride a donkey at that nativity thing that they did next to the wall in Palestine. And if you don't know about Palestine, Israel, have fun Googling that and seeing what comes up. Hi folks. Do you know that wall that they wanted to build in America to keep all the Mexicans out? Do you remember those bombs they were looking for in the Middle East? Do you realise how much we've been fucking lied to? And now we got vegans lying back to us like fucking traitors. Are you all catching this reality? Scary, isn't it? That's the reality. I have no idea what you look like, and that's okay. I mean, I understand your frustration, Jim. Let's be compassionate to you, Jim. Otherwise, we're just all bullying each other, aren't we? I've seen it in Bradford. I looked out my window in Bradford, and there's like a little, like over off in the distance, there's a park, and this kid just like goes and takes the ball off this, like, there's 3 kids, right? There's a kid that tall, and a kid that tall. The biggest kid just comes and grabs the ball off the middle kid. Do you know what the middle kid did? He turned around and he punched the smallest one. Just watched it happen. I was like, oh, there it is. That's the theory in action. Woohoo! That looks a bit bad, doesn't it? Tell you, one of the biggest problems with people getting self-conscious is all these cameras are wide angle. Like, wedding photographers always use like long distance lenses and then stand back a bit to get everyone in. That's why it's a struggle. Yeah, let's see what you're all saying. I just wanted to get some shit off my chest, basically, like where we're all at. Just checking with you all. When vegan influencers become ex-vegan, the other vegans that suffer minor health issues could start doubting vegan. Well, that's what we're seeing here. He is the guy who reviews mock meats. Jackson, if you're watching, this is who you are. On the internet, to me. You're the guy who reviews mock meats. You do funny fucking vegan sketch shows. It's going to be painful watching them back. Thanks for leaving your content up, though, but like, I appreciate that. Like, you did say yet, though. I really analysed your fucking words when you did the video, man. Just, like, something going on in there. What caused it? When you're ready, you got to, like, deal with this shit properly, man. What started the anxiety? Like, the anxiety is not the start of this problem, is it? If you want to deal with anxiety, instead of taking diazepam, learn pranayama. Just learn to control your breath. Most people have no idea how to use their breath. There's different breathing methods. It's not just inhale, exhale. Well, like... makes your whole body warm. People don't know about this. They just stand there going, I feel cold, I feel cold. They haven't learned to breathe yet. And then you're there going, I get a bit anxious. Learn to fucking breathe, mate. Like, I'm sorry, but society has failed to teach people the fucking basics. I'm sorry that I got learned this as a kid. Taught. It's Harry Krishna, like, upbringing, isn't it? But, like, some of this shit is actually fucking useful, and none of you have got a grasp on it. We're all still learning to walk, really, aren't we? Everyone's just, like, fucking off at one side, like, walking down the road. Like, everyone got their different walk, man. And it's just, like, a lot of people are slowly damaging themselves. Everyone's just got to learn how to be a human. Like, there's a manual. They wrote it already. It's 5,000 years ago. Look, go look it up. Anyway. Tim Shieff is a paid shield. Yeah, possibly. I have thought that. I think he might have gone crazy, and now they've brought him up for the opportunity, because that Vice thing was a bit weird, wasn't it? But it might just be shit journalism as well. Right, where are we? Chelsea Gardner. Yeah, I saw your comment on his thing. I recognise you. Yeah, how's it going? I'm not going to second guess his next video. But if his missus stops being vegan, I think we're in trouble, because I want him on the team. Red Rover, we call Jackson over. Okay. When I heard Tim was a flat earther, this is from Cynical Coyote, how's it going? I expected him to not last as a vegan, to be honest, because people who are gullible don't usually, in my experience. Yeah, I've had a gullible mate stop being vegan. As soon as he heard another conspiracy, it was that one and that one and that one. It was whatever the latest conspiracy theory was, he was convinced. People don't know how to operate their own logic. I have no idea what you look like, and I was like, yeah, we did that. The biggest flat earther is a hardcore vegan, Eric DeBay. Yeah, I've been thinking about whether to contact him and get him on the podcast, because I'm pretty sure he'd do it, because any like chance to grow his platform. But that's why I wouldn't do it. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, do I want to give Eric DeBay a platform when he's just confusing gullible people? But at the same time, like, we just got to get through this age of gullibility, because that's a big part of the problem. The stupidity is real. Cheers, Benjamin, for that one. Shaming ex-vegans creates anti-vegans. Yeah, that's true. And I've been part of the problem with that, and I'll put my hand up and say that. I was so mean to Tim when he stopped being vegan as well, but I don't know, we'll see. But then maybe that's my journey. It's my journey to be mean to Tim. It's just my journey. No, I'm saying that in a mean way. I like Tim, man. He just wants to play outdoors without his shoes on, doesn't he? That's it. It's just some guys like, just want to go out on the hills without my shoes on and just have a nice time. I like doing that. Who doesn't, man? Like, a lot of fucking people never get round to it, but I think everyone enjoys it. He just had his head fucked up from having too much money too young. And, like, probably a family didn't support his veganism very well, because, like, they probably already treated him like he was crazy enough for the veganism, so why not go the full way? Just become a whack job, 35-day water fast, drinking your own piss on Vice News as someone who's been excommunicated. Should definitely be making some backwards carnage t-shirts though. Like, I love your eyes, I'm creepy. Pigeon extremist. Oh, it's a picture of a pigeon, right? Ooh. Yeah, the green brings them out, doesn't it? Oh. Just readjust for a second. Yeah, get Eric DeBay on that, dude is very smart. Jimmy, you a flat earther, what's going on here? Veganism is for everyone, the smart and the stupid. Yeah, it's for the kind, man. It's only the kind that are going to stick around. Doesn't matter if you're smart or stupid. Veganism is for everyone, the smart and the stupid. I hope his girlfriend is still vegan, but she's liked a comment on his Insta calling veganism a cult. Oh, right, you're on top of it. Yeah, right. It was the comment from Tim Shieff underneath his video where it's just like, wow. He actually wants to recruit a little team. He wants to make this movement big enough, the anti-vegan movement. Now that this is the thing, you go ex-vegan, it happens very, very quickly. Everyone's like, try an egg, just try an egg. Why don't you just like have an oyster? That's like not really sentient. But it's not the fucking chemistry. That's what people need to understand. It's the same as getting drunk. Like, the alcohol has its effect. My mask's about to fall off. Get ready for identity reveal. Ah. Shit, how was it attached in the first place? Took me ages to do this. So you can go and try an egg, right? You got fucking Drew, Bobby, whatever dipshit on the internet trying to make a bit of money while fucking some influencer because they think that life's all about that and they haven't got a fucking clue yet with their baby peacock feathers. Baby peacock feathers, just going, oh, look at me, I've got a vlog. I'm an influencer, I'm dating an influencer. Like my videos, subscribe. I'm going to the gym. Like me. They it's so embarrassing, man. We're gonna look back on this age in like 20 years. It's like, the fuck are we doing? You spelled globalist wrong, Neville. Right, where are we? Do you think that vegans and non-vegans can have lasting relationships? All of this will pass. Long term, it will be obvious who are acting for the right reasons. Bro, I need to send you that podcast. Sorry, it's just difficult because it's via Instagram and like I've got it as a. It's hard to copy and paste. Do you have a girlfriend? Yeah. I'll give you a swam now. That's not a very good 180, is it? I'm just chilling, man. Like, I'm having the best life. Like, people don't fucking... Like, I've gone off the radar a little bit with a lot of the dickheads, like all the vloggers. I'm not friends with vloggers anymore, and I can see it from the outside now. Because, like, maybe a few, some of the sound ones, but there's not many. But, like... I'm just going to chill here on my vegan level 10. Vegan. This is my vegan level 10 cushion, which was made non-ironically by a friend when I broke my arm. Check it out, broke my arm. That's why I'm not offering cage fights for these motherfuckers like vegan games. I just got my right. But it's coming back slowly. 49 watching. Look at me. I feel so popular. Lucy Watson follows me. Jim Sheeff's messaged me now that I'm not a vegan anymore. I'm suddenly so popular. No problem, thank you. Yeah, you're right, bro. Yeah, it's pretty basic, isn't it? It's just an archaic story of good versus evil. Sorry, I should be reading the comments out more. It's like pretty unclear what I'm going. Is Anthony V in here? Oh yeah, Anthony V. I'm vegan, but seeing so many people eat 100% plant-based and then see health benefits from eating animal products, it makes me curious if maybe there's something in the animal products lacking plant. Right, let's talk about this, because this is like what I actually wanted to talk about, is it's not the animals. You can have the same experience from getting drunk. You can go, oh, I've lost my libido, drink a bottle of Pimm's, and then just want to fuck the first person you see. Like, that will fucking give you that feeling back. Look at what's going on. He's been using alcohol, like with Jackson. Jackson's been using alcohol for his anxiety. Just never learned pranayama. Saying that, this is strangling me a little bit. Meatless crew. Yeah. But let's talk about it, man, because I like to think about things on a little bit more of a spiritual level, because no one's really got a grasp of like the gut flora chemistry thing. You got Goji Man, like, wherever he's at now, if he's been like kicked out of his university or whatever. Yeah, I'll have a chat with Eric DeBay then, if you want that, Jim Rogers. I reckon Jim Rogers is Eric DeBay in disguise. Yeah, let's just talk about the chakras, man. Let's talk about the fucking chakras. Let's break it down so it doesn't sound like some spiritual woo-woo. You got your brain, that's your crown chakra. Your brain's thinking, right? Ooh, you're up there and you're thinking, these are your thoughts, new thoughts, like storing information, knowledge. Then you've got like the next one down, which is your third eye, which is all those kind of like lofty, crown chakra is kind of like just outside of yourself, right? It's that kind of I am part of the universe. That's like enlightenment. When you're fully in that state. Third eye, you're off on some lofty shroom trip. You're like, woo, conspiracy. That's like Tim Shieff. Tim Shieff, his third eye is full open, but the rest of the chakras aren't aligned. He's in that state where it's just like that kind of weird, crazy, conceptual, abstract, like kind of putting information together. That's that part of your body. Next bit down, you got your throat. This is your ability to communicate as an animal. We have complex vocal cords, which allow us to say things, but it also allows us to lie a lot. Most animals have very basic vocabulary because they don't need to lie.
Most animals are very, very honest. You get the odd cat or the odd, like, I've seen a lot of animals where they can get a little bit sneaky. You get like sneaky animals, but most of them are just doing their thing, right? Humans do this thing where we corrupt ourselves. So that's why we've seen so many of these vegans, ex-vegans, like if they were ever vegan in the first place, and that's a whole other conversation, where their throat chakra is very blocked. Suddenly it's like their ability to use it is like, I'm a good person. I can't be telling them, and I'm saying, but basically, like, so I did the thing, and like everything gets so staccato, you can hear it in them, and it's all stuck there. It's all stuck there. Like, and you can see how Tim's come to terms with it over time and like learned how to control that. Now he's just lying and enjoying the experience because he's like learned how to do it. So let's talk about like, so someone eats fish or someone eats eggs. What's that doing, man? What's that doing? So you've got more chakras than that. It goes down to heart. So if you think about it, your heart is the area with your lungs and your heart. So that's just on and off switches. You've got inhale. And exhale. And like all you're doing basically is choosing to either run that on manual or automatic. So you can take control of the show if you think you can do it better. Like as a focus puller, I always like thought I could do it better than the cameras, but the cameras got quite good actually. And your body is quite good at just knowing what to do if you let it. So sometimes it's you getting in the way, but you can run on automatic so much that your whole nervous system isn't really yours anymore. You're just running on auto. And that's what being a full psychopath is. You're just thinking about you and survival, and there's no sense of sympathy or empathy anymore. And this is what a lot of people are having to switch off. And we don't know why that is. Like, in some people's cases, it might be like they've done the most horrible thing, like they've raped a corpse or something, like just some fucked up shit where like who knows what they've got involved in. But that shame is going to keep them prisoner until they can deal with it. But it might be something as simple as like they just develop such empathy as a vegan that they accidentally well, not accidentally because they'd have to intentionally do it, but like let's say they've set down a mouse trap and it actually killed the mouse, but they were deliberating over whether to, and then suddenly the mouse is dead and they're like, I'm a murderer, and they've gone full non-speciesist, but the idea of killing the mouse is so traumatic to them now that they just have to shut down completely and go, fuck it, I need to eat eggs, and nothing matters anymore, I'll kick this baby in the face, I'm still a good person. And this is how I understand it. Once you start to have this system and this theory to understand what's going on, you don't get angry anymore, you just observe it. And in the case of Tim, he's obviously dealing with it's going to be shame. And if you remember Carnage, that was the whole concept of it. Simon Amstel got all of this, no shame, no shame, no shame. And they're all going, Wensleydale, Camembert. And they're naming the cheeses that they used to eat, because that's the level of shame that we feel in the future for the things that we used to do, because we've realized how stupid we were at that point. And there probably is going to be like an age of enlightenment that comes with veganism that's going to be kind of dirty and painful, and I think this might be it. This is the beginnings of that. This is the dawn of a vegan utopia that's going to be like, it's not going to be so pleasant there aren't any problems anymore. We're going to discover new problems that are more interesting as we like collectively work together, without this idea that it's like we're somehow separate from everyone else and need to survive more. We're thinking as a collective, and we can do much more greater like things than that. And I know Tim's understood this. Like everyone wants to say who's plant-based, and maybe like the thing that happened to him a long time ago, maybe it happened more recently, or whatever it is that's just caused him into like he's taking mushrooms and fasting and drinking his urine and trying to find any way out of his own sort of like it's here, man. Like it's solar plexus, like he knows about chakras, he's looked into it because like he made t-shirts about this. But that all those feelings in your gut, like when your gut isn't right, it's usually because like that's that deep feeling of you suppressing thoughts, like you're pushing them all the way down to your gut. I don't want to think about that. That's anxiety. That's what we're talking about with Jackson. Like I've got a grasp on all this shit, man. Like people are talking about it, like SIBO tests and blah blah blah, and that's going to be part of it too. There is going to be that. There's going to be the very real chemical side of it at the other end, but the conceptual side of it, like how does someone get into this state in the first place? Because when we talk about anxiety, like that's like you can have anxiety and you can eat, it doesn't matter what the fuck you're eating, like you can have anxiety, you can be eating the nicest diet whatsoever, but if you did a hit and run on some fucking woman with a pram on the motorway, and then you're just like, I won't tell anyone, it's gonna fuck up my job and stuff, like it's gonna fuck you up. You could be eating the nicest fucking diet with everything in it, you can have all your omega-3s and 6s, it's gonna stress is what kills people, man. Like it's the stress. And for some people, it's too stressful to realise that the animals are like being killed. And like, if I told my nan about veganism now, and like she fully got it, like what's she gonna do? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'd love her to go vegan. It's gonna help her. But some people, and like some people aren't my nan. Some people are just like, people are just so fucking normal and muggly. You know, these fucking carnists who are just so like, I did my thing and now I do this and someone tells me where to go next and then I stand in this queue and their whole life is just waiting to fucking get buried by their relatives, man. That's all they do. They just queue for the next thing they're told to, and to suddenly go, by the way, veganism exists. And then I think what's happened is Tim Sheeff's got involved in this just as it's starting to blossom, and he's really helped it. He's kind of made it trendy, and he's brought that arrogance and that extrinsic values that a lot of the people who really understood the ethics didn't have, because he's thinking, oh, how am I perceived? Like, I'm looking for validation. Like, that's a big part of who he is. And veganism kind of needed that, because like when we weren't that trendy, man. Like, the Najib t-shirt when it came out was about as trendy as it fucking got. We got shit now, like, don't worry about it. We developed, we got fucking plant-based margarine now. No wonder people are getting unhealthy on it, Jackson. Like, fucking eat some plants, bro. Yeah. Right, let's read some fucking comments. But what I'm saying is, like, let's stop thinking about this as like, oh, like, why do I feel horny when I eat fish? Maybe it's because it's got nothing to do with what's in it. Maybe it's the idea that you've gone against your intention. So it's like, no, I won't get drunk. Fuck it. Fuck everyone. Fuck everything. Like, if you get drunk, you can lose your fucking mind. And then the next day you can go, oh, I'm so drunk. And sometimes that's a release. Like, you can suddenly get so drunk, you can tell someone something that, like, you're just ashamed that you did and you've never felt comfortable, and they're drunk too, and fuck it. And suddenly, like, you can have that bond where, like, you don't have this stifling formality anymore because the elephant in the room can't be discussed. You know what I mean? So, yeah, this is when we start mapping the chakras. Jackson's throat is wide open, man. Like, he's being so honest with us. I believe that. Like, I can see it in his body language. But we're quickly losing him. And what's going to happen is when he takes diazepam affects this area, right? Like, we've all fucked around with like, I'm in Manchester right now. Like, if you want diazepam, someone will sell it to you at a bus stop. Like, it's great. And like, suddenly your heart runs on auto. Do you know how I know about diazepam originally as a fucking kid? I didn't take it as a kid, don't worry. Like, didn't get into drugs till an adult. But like, whatever drugs are, like, I was a bit cannabis deficient as a child. But like, I'm just joking. But like, was I cannabis deficient as a child? I feel like that's a whole other topic. I've seen kids take cannabis, and I'm like, people are like, that's terrible. But then you see the kid, and it's like, they're having a good time. Is it going to fuck them up later? I guess they're the experiment. And that's what Jackson said about his kid now. Like, he felt like he was experimenting on them. Brain fog. I think we all suffer from brain fog a little bit, man. Like, but isn't brain fog just really like when it's really bad? When it's not just like, because one thing, you can walk into one room and then walk into another and just be like, your brain sort of resets, because we've evolved to like come out of a forest into a clearing and go, right, I need a whole new bunch of ways of thinking now to cope in this different terrain. So even as you're going between rooms, you're like kind of having this brain switch. But I think when they talk about brain fog, or they talk about lead head, like Jackson called it lead head, I think what they're talking about is cognitive dissonance. And like, it's really important as an activist to understand what cognitive dissonance is. I did a video with, like, back on my channel as a collaboration with someone. I think it's a really good video. Like, I think we sort of broke it down so that you can start to get a grasp of it, like visually or as audio, just like different ways to describe it. So you can go, oh yeah, cognitive dissonance. Because it's something I'd never given any thought to, but I was aware of it being a thing, but I didn't give it a name or anything until I got deep into veganism. And the truth is, all this shit is painful. Like, if you want to forgive yourself, it's gonna hurt. You can't just go, yeah, it doesn't really matter, I'll just carry on with my life. That's not forgiveness. You've got to go like, what have I done? Like, actually analyze it. Go and ask some people how you've hurt them. If you fucked up, like, go chat to them about it. That's like next level self-forgiveness. That's like some my name is Earl shit. And like, I'll put myself through it. Like, and I feel better for it. But I remember how difficult it was. I'm not envious of anyone who is in a position where they have to go through it. But like, another way of thinking about it is like, remember that episode of Black Mirror? Like, if you've seen that, do you know there's that episode where So that kid, it was a kid out of Carnage actually, which was a bit weird. And he's like the one who's like, how could anyone eat a little baby lamb? Is that kid? And he's also the kid out of End of the Fucking World. That's one of the few decent things that's come out in the last few years, I reckon. Would have been better as a film. Nah, maybe. But yeah, he gets trolled on the internet, right? And the whole time it's like they've got tapes of him like just sort of masturbating to porn, and he's so scared of it getting released that he'll do anything. He'll even kill someone. He'll even eat a fish. Do you know what I mean? So like that's how shame will hold you a prisoner. And like obviously Black Mirror, it was like, oh, we're gonna do a bank heist and we're gonna fuck with them and all this stuff. But actually, like, this is how some religions get people as well. They learn their shame and hold it against them. That happens. It's how some governments hold people. They get them to do fucked up shit. Sometimes there's sex parties, they get people drunk enough, they get them to do some fucking weird shit and they film it, and then they've got control of the rest of their lives if they're not willing to, and like they probably prefer to kill themselves and deal with it. But instead they just become a slave to the person who owns their shame. And like you have to understand, all this satanic shit is real. Like, there's people drinking each other's blood, like who are anti-vegan. This satanic shit is real. Meat is from Elton. Cunt. Cunt. What are some of the things he used to say? I haven't watched one of his videos in time, man, but like, I used to love his content. But at the same time, you could call this karma for the way he's called everyone else out. Like now he's got to experience it too. Like this is him like kind of going through his shade. He's been so mean to everyone else, and now like he is going to get a little bit of it back. But I don't want to be part of the party just adding more karma to the pile. Do you know what I'm saying? It's right, let's scroll back some. I'm reading all of these. Where do we get to? Blah 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 blah. I think that was all off the back of Anthony V's question. I went off on a lot of tangents then. Yeah, Anthony V was saying, oh, I'm thinking about considering it to feel the benefits. Oh yeah, so this is what I'm saying, right? It's like there's some things where someone go, this will be a benefit for you, and you can't just try it to find out. You know, if someone goes, oh, this is like acid, but it fucks you up permanently, you're never going to get sober again to do the evaluation. Like, there's some things you don't want to do. And, like, most people don't realise how brainwashed they were as a child. Now they've been vegan for a while, and they might have got a spot, or they had diarrhea this one time, and they're suddenly thinking, hang on, I'm meant to be invincible because I'm a vegan now. And they go, maybe something's wrong. Maybe the diet's not quite right. And they're like, fuck it, I'll just try an egg again, because they haven't connected with the ethics. They haven't been to a vigil. They haven't really given it much more thought. Maybe they didn't watch the documentary all the way to the end because they were still covering their eyes. And then that person suddenly like ate the egg. And it's kind of like, I think Ricky Gervais said it, like someone said, oh, you should really try hunting before you, and you shouldn't be allowed to talk badly about it until you've experienced it. And Ricky Gervais goes, well, do you speak badly of rape? End of conversation. There's some things you can't do without corrupting your soul. And intentionally doing something that you know is wrong, just out of fear and doubt, those lower three chakras, which by the way is like, if you think about what they are, I'm not going to get into the Sanskrit names, but like you're talking like basically your gender and your like your sexual and then your organs, like that's it basically. And they're kind of your lower three. That all it is replicate yourself. Like go fuck somebody and like let your organs process your food. That's those lower three. You want all of them. People haven't got all of them. This is how we make like superhuman vegans, right? It's people who are living in tune. They don't have cognitive dissonance, and they're not having to shut down their nervous system to like actually cope with life. Instead of choosing to feel, they're choosing to go numb and then just focus on like that's when what we call the ego a lot of the time. That's when it's superficial things. It's like I want the nice car, I want the mansion, you know, I want the subs, I want the validation. It's all that shit. So anyway, I think that kind of like, if I was you, Anthony V, if you're still watching, don't. That'd be my advice. But like, in order to not do it, because you obviously, if you're considering it, you need to just go and learn veganism better. And like, I don't know how long you've been vegan, like put it in the chat, like let's have a chat about it. But wherever you're at right now, I feel like there's a piece of the puzzle missing where my understanding of ahimsa and veganism, ITAL, like the whole fucking package, like maybe you haven't got it, maybe you're not feeling great and you're a bit curious, but maybe you just want to see what your best self feels like. Maybe go to a vigil. That would be my advice, even if we do chat, probably, because I'm guessing you haven't, because none of these ex-vegans have, I've noticed. Are you a vegan terrorist? Mate, I'm the vegan terrorist. there's one way to find out if I'm a terrorist. Ask yourself, do you feel terrorized right now? Because my intention is not to terrorize, it's to liberate. Okay, excess alcohol consumption messes with nutrient absorption. Yes, it does. Hence the hangover. Holly Brown Fit, I know that I'm just curious that if there's a reason, because now there are so many reoccurring anecdotes. Yeah, no one's talking about like the fucking, like you got raw alignment. She don't know fuck all about alignment, man. She never aligned her chakras. She's had about like maybe 4 chakras open at once. There's 7. She got just past halfway. Like, I've signed up for Raw Alignment's email scheme, like the free one where you get sent shit. She is fucking weird, man. Like, she preys on the vulnerable by going, hey, do you want to feel amazing today? Just click on this link and there'll be a thing. And like, don't miss out now, limited, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's all marketing speech, man. And she's paid this company to just use her and they take a massive percentage. I think it's about to die, isn't it? Oh, shit. Am I still live though? Well, I'm going to end it there because I got confused, but I hope you all enjoyed that. I might start making these more regular. I'm going to be reading through and, well, I should just, I don't know.